Alright, moving on, DAO creation, new members. During the following units, we are going to create a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization. Then we get some dodgy Google translations. And the problem we want to solve is we want to create a DAO where affiliates or members will be able to sign up without any type of authorization. By asking for a DAO, we're already assuming that we're going to create a DApp, which we are. For this, we will create a component within the RADX network, which will allow us to give a non-fungible to each new member or affiliate so they can demonstrate their membership and, in the future, identify themselves within the DAO. You can go ahead and plan this out. I'm going to jump straight into the programming part, and it says, as we already saw in the previous unit, Scrypto provides a macro to be able to create a data structure, mutable and immutable, which we can later incorporate into our non-fungible. Then we will need to save the address of the non-fungible resource that we want to give to each affiliate. It will be of the resource address type. And exactly what we have to do is, and for now we only have to add a permanent container, a vault, to store a badge that authorizes the component to mint the new non-fungible items. In this case, the insignia with authorization to mint will be saved in the component itself so that it can be used when necessary. So let's set up a project called DAO, and let's also open up the advanced temperature. Now in the advanced temperature, we also used the badge for access control, but it was used in a different manner. Now if we look at what happens in advanced temperature, when the account instantiates the temperature function, it creates a new badge which it's calling admin badge, and it stores that in a vault in the account. So if we look at the account, we can see resources, it has an admin badge and it has an address. And then if we look up here, you can see from this address, it's got a vault. So the vault and the admin badge are stored in the account. And then if we look up here in the structure, the admin badge is the resource address. So in the component, so now if we look at the component, we get here, we've got the structure. So we've got the hash map, and then we've got an address, so resource address, and the resource address here is the resource address of the admin badge vault. So the admin badge is stored in the account, and the component stores the address of the admin badge so it can refer to it. All right, let's build our membership DAO. So let's change all this to DAO, make it make sense. And the first thing we're doing, which is the difference between this and the advanced temperature, is we are creating the vault in the component. So we'll call this admin badge, and it's a vault. So here we will need to create an admin badge with a bucket full of a badge. So we have to create the badge. And in here we will have let badge be a new fungible. We call it admin badge. We need to make the divisibility 0, so divisibility none, and we are going to create one of them initially. All right, now if we go back to our instructions, let's create the NFT. So it says here we are giving a non-fungible to each new affiliate as their membership. It will have both mutable and immutable data in it. The immutable data will be a string character so the user can put in a name, and the mutable data will be an identifier based on the number of members. All right, let's set up the data structure. And now for the NFT. So we need to derive the non-fungible data, and we'll call the structure affiliate data. All we need to include in this is the ability to insert the user's name, which will be a string. And then the NFT will be based on the number of members, so we need to keep track of that. And we need to keep track of the NFT address. So down in self now, we need to set the number of members to 0. And then for the NFT address, we need to store all the membership badge data, but we haven't created the membership badge yet, so let's do that now. And the membership badge is the new non-fungible, or the NFT. So we need to include some data. So we need the metadata, which is the name, and we'll call it membership badge. And then for now, we're not going to create any initial supply because that's going to be minted when the person applies for membership. Okay, let's have a look at minting. So we need to go to language description, access control, protecting resource actions. So here we've got a list of actions that are possible on resources, and we are interested in the mintable action, which is currently set to default of deny all. So we want to change the access rules to this. So our access rule will be that we require that the person has the correct badge. All right, so let's do that now. So to make this mintable, we're going to use the rule macro, and we are going to require the resource address of the badge. And to prevent this being changed in the future, we are going to lock it. So now we need to create a new membership method. So we'll call the method new membership. It has to be a mutable reference to self because we can change it, and we're allowing the user to put in his name. And the number of members is currently 0, so the first thing we need to do is increase the number of members to 1. And here we're going to get something new. So basically we're going to create the NFT. Now in Scrypto, if we come in here, so we type in managing resources and we get this reference. So managing resources, read this. I'm going to jump to the part that's relevant to us. In Scrypto, every resource has a resource manager, which does as it says, it manages the resource. So we're going to manage the admin badge resource initially, so copy and paste it. And then we're going to work with the borrow resource manager macro, which does exactly as it says on the tin. So let's do that. So we get rid of this. So we let resource manager equal borrow resource manager macro. And then we're going to work with our NFT address. And now we're going to use our borrowed resource manager to mint the non-fungible at the NFT address. And we're going to include the non-fungible ID. And from the affiliate data, we're going to include the name. All right, nearly there. Our admin badge is a vault, so we need to return this as a bucket. Otherwise, we'll end up with a hanging bucket and it will crash. And then we've got the obvious mistake that I made earlier. This needs to be an unsigned 32-bit integer. Okay, we are good to go. Let's have a look and see what we have done. All right, so do the usual. Create a new account, grab the variables, publish it, instantiate, and grab the component. And then let's have a look at the component. And in the component, we've got the admin badge. And now let's join. So resim call method from the component, the new membership, and Ian Mac. And we have now become a member. And if we now look at our account, and we have here our resource address, which is our membership badge. Here's our membership number and immutable data, Ian Mac. All right, hope that was useful. Thank you for watching. Bye now.